Good morning, everybody, and welcome to TRS Live. I am your host, Matt Trotz. Man, I hope you had a phenomenal weekend and got a chance to get out there and enjoy some of the beautiful weather. Well, hopefully it was beautiful in your neck of the woods. I myself did a little bit of fishing, did a little bit of yard work, and it was an absolute beautiful weekend with my family. So here's the deal, everybody. You're watching TRS Live. This is our online shopping show. Remember, all the deals we talk about here on TRS Live are only available at therealshot.com. So have this browser open and have another one open with therealshot.com. What we're going to do is we're going to bring up a number of products today, look at 4 to be exact. You'll see the prices of those products. You'll see an online code. So what that online code really does is it takes you directly to that product on the Real Shot website. So if you type in that online code, which is usually at the top of the product box, it'll take you right to that product. The other thing too is on the realshot.com, if you're browsing around waiting for me to get to the first product, you'll see in the categories tab, there is a TRS Live Shopping box or a tab there. Click that, that'll bring you to a calendar. That calendar has past shows on it. That calendar also has upcoming shows, and then it also has, below that calendar are the products that we've talked about on TRS Live in the past. So here's the deal with the way TRS Live really works. Is some of these products are on sale for a while, some of these products are only on sale for a short time. So if you're cruising around on that TRS Live Shopping tab and you see a product that we've talked about but it's no longer on sale or the inventory's out on your hot favorite color that you wanted, that means you got to do this. You got to go to the TRS Live Facebook or the Real Shot Facebook page and go into your settings, which is going to be where you are following the page. If you click on that follow portion, you're going to actually get some follow settings. So if you add us to your favorites, you'll be notified a lot more rapidly, and you'll also see a lot more content that we produce in your page, your news feed. Then the other thing too is there's a live video portion of that. If you open that portion up, again, we're talking in the follow settings, and you can add that. You can click, I believe it's be notified, or upgrade your notifications to be notified when we go live. That'll allow you to keep up to tab when we're live, because I tell you what, for about 24 to 48 hours are the period some of these deals last for. So if you are here and you're watching some of these amazing products that we talk about and you're like, holy man, I can't believe they're selling it at that price, or they actually have inventory of my favorite lure, that's what you got to do to be notified of what's going on here at TRS Live. So, well, before we get into our first product of today too, I want to remind you about the Fix TV platform. So what Fix TV is our video on demand platform. So it's $5.99 per month to be a Fix TV subscriber. But what we're going to do as a thank you is we're going to give you a $5 monthly credit. I mean, that's monthly, to therealshot.com. So what happens is you get all signed up, bing, bang, boom. Every month you are a Fix TV subscriber, you will get a $5 credit added to your account. That's for you to use here or some other great products that therealshot.com carries. So here's the other thing. If you refer a friend and they become a Fix TV subscriber, you earn a free month. So basically, let's break it down for you. If you refer enough friends that sign up and you get your $5 credit, you can almost have a year's worth of Fix TV for 99 cents. Boy, that is an awesome, awesome deal. So there's a frequently asked questions portions at the bottom of Fix TV. You can find all your information over there. But remember, right now, right here, we are talking about products that are on therealshot.com only. And let's get right into our first product of the day. So we are talking about a Smithwick product. Smithwick is a very great company. Manufacturers some legendary lures for bass and walleye anglers. And here's that box that pops up. So here's that code at the very top, which is SWP10. That'll take you directly to the product that we are talking about on the realshot.com website. So $7.49, $5.99 is the sales price, and the color that we're referring to, you kind of see it here in front of me, is motion stick, is what my notes say. This is a P10 or a P10 Rogue, as they like to say. And that Rogue name comes from the action that you're going to get out of this Smithwick bait. This is a suspending style jerk bait. It could be casted. A lot of anglers really like this jerk bait for trolling on some of the bigger waters or for some of those big time walleyes. So that Rogue, you get that Rogue kind of roll action to this bait. This thing is an awesome bait. So then the other thing too is we talk about the motion stick that we have here, and this motion stick is going to be partnered with one of the motion. So I did see, I was wondering, motion 6. My notes say stick, so I got to make a correction to that. I must have been writing too fast. Good morning, Dylan Williams. So remember here, that's a great point. Thanks, Dylan, for bringing that up. Our chat is open too. So Aaron is my producer. In between me talking, he would try to feed me some of your comments or your questions. So again, good morning, Dylan. And good morning to anybody else that's watching this. So correction, motion sick. I had a T in my notes. So here we go. So motion sick. So let's talk about it. I'm getting motion sick talking about this bait because I'm all jacked up already. So here we go. This is a 5.5 inch bait. So if you were to cast and crank it, fish it more like your standard jerk bait, this bait is going to run in that 10 to 12 foot depth. It's got that suspending action, so you cast it out, you jerk it, or you get it down to your depths that you want it to, and that bait's going to sit there. And that's what's going to help entice some of these fish, whether you're fishing for big walleye. You could even use it for salmon and trout on some of those bigger bodies of water. Pike and muskie, if you're looking to downsize some of your muskie game, the Smithwick Rogue is a perfect bait for that. And it's also going to work for bass as well. So you go ahead, if you're casting, again, it'll get you in that 10 to 12 foot range. You work it just like a standard jerk bait. The thing that's cool about jerk baits, we've talked about this on past TRS live shows, is the optimum way to fish a jerk bait is on slack line. So you go through your rip, you let it pause, and before you reel that bait, all that slack up, leave a little bit there because you don't want that bait to swim at you if you're fishing it like a jerk bait. You want it to pause. That pause right there is going to entice a strike. It's going to sit there. It's going to be in that fish's strike zone a lot longer. And then just before you get all that slack out, then you work it again on that jerk motion. You can double jerk it, triple jerk it. There's a ton of different ways to go ahead and work a jerk bait like that. But again, it's that work it on slack line. That's all I can really tell you about fishing a jerk bait. Now, trolling depths. This is where this bait really shines. That's where we get that Rogue rolling action. That's with the color of the motion stick here that you see. You get that side flash. You get a lot of great colors that are all into this bait, kind of roll into one. We have some perch stripes along the back. We have pink that fades into an orange. We have some chartreuse colors through. We have the big kind of bluish purple dot on the side. Big attractive eyes. You know, this thing is really has all the fair colors that everybody wants to see in a great looking bait, whether it's Lake Winnebago, the Bay of Green Bay, Lake Erie, where a lot of anglers are fishing these baits, plus Columbia River. I'm sure there's a ton of bodies of water that I'm not even thinking about where this thing's going to come into play. You got a lot of different colors in this bait that's going to mimic a lot of your bait fish, no matter where you're fishing this style of bait. So again, let's hit it one more time. The cranking depth, around that 10 to 12 foot if you're fishing as a jerk bait, suspending bait. Trolling depth, again, 12 to 15 feet. And you can modify that depending on how much line you have out. I don't want to talk to you about trolling. I mean, because that's something that I don't really do a lot of, but there's a lot of information out there, whether it's calling the reel shot, talk to the staff here, on YouTube, so on and so forth. There's a lot of great information about, you know, your precision trolling app is going to help you with all this kind of stuff as well. Line size, you know, if you're running a weight off of it, if you're planer board, so on and so forth. There's a lot of different styles to actually run this bait. The weight of this bait, something that we like to hit on here, is a 5/8 ounce, and then it's got 3 number 4 Gamakatsu hooks on it, so you know that the Gamu is a very sharp hook. The nice thing about these baits is when Smithwick tests all their baits, right? They're just like a lot of these great companies that we talk about here on TRS Live. Everything is tank tested before it hits the packaging. And then when you get it, you know, maybe it's slight modification here or there just by adjusting the hook point or the line tie on there. But usually out of the package, this thing is going to run the way you want it to. And as you see here, as I'm trying to turn it in my hands, Look at that tape job Katie did, by the way. I'm trying to shake this thing and it's free. I can't do it. But anyways, you can kind of see the iridescence to the color. You can kind of see if we start up here. Let's do the pen way this morning here. We got that pink in the head. That's just going to add some nice color. We got that, I'm going to call it a bluish kind of dot here with some silver, some chrome backer. Then we run from that pink along the spine portion of it with those tiger stripes, those perch stripes across the back. Then it fades into what I'm going to call like a burnt orange, chartreuse burnt orange kind of, and then it runs all the way back to the tail. And then that pink actually blends with that orange across the top of the back. It's got more of a gold look to it at certain colors. This thing is going to be good for, you know, not only clear water, but I don't want to use it in extremely stained water, but this bait with that big noise that it makes too is going to help attract a lot of fish. But it's just a great looking bait. You can fish it in a number of different ways. Majority of the anglers that are probably watching today are probably fishing this thing trolling wise. But I know at the reel shot here, when that Erie bite starts to fire, the P10 is one of those baits. And it's getting used a lot more as well on the Bay of Green Bay, just because some of the size of the walleyes this thing catches is unbelievable. And the Bay of Green Bay is putting out some big time fish, you know, more and more every single day. But this thing looks phenomenal. Again, it's a Smithwick Perfect 10 Rogue. We talked about the size. It's at 5.5 inch body. So this is one too, as the forage starts getting bigger on your body of water where you feel like this bait will fit into, this is when you might want to upsize to this 5.5 inch size here. And again, with a little bit of you know, research on that trolling app, you can find where this thing will hit that perfect window. But this is an awesome bait. Cranking depth, we said 10 to 12 foot. If you're just casting it, working it like a standard jerk bait, trolling it, you're right in that 12 to 15 foot range. But again, like what Smithwick really likes to do is pair this Rogue with some high-end features here. We talked about the number 4, 3 of them, the Gamakatsu's hook here, and the Rogue is one of the best lures for Great Lakes walleyes. We've kind of talked about that. In rivers, no other lure caught more pre-spawn bass as well. So there's a little fin fact for you right away on a Monday morning. You know, a lot of people are kind of look at this bait and like, that's my go-to for walleyes, right? But there's probably a lot of anglers that like to keep this thing a secret from that bass side. This thing, that suspending action, you get those bass out over these deep basins when they're starting to pull offshore, early season, and then in the fall, again, when the water temps get cold, that's really where a jerk bait, a suspending jerk bait really shines. So this motion sick bait is maybe one you want to add to your arsenal if you are going to start fishing bass a little bit more. I know a lot of anglers too will throw the Smithwick, the P10, and some other jerk baits in the fall. They'll go up to the shore again in that De Pere area. They'll throw from shore and they'll work this bait. A lot of anglers, here's a tip again, will throw this thing at night just because it's got some great flash and it's got some great noise to it as well. But this is a go-to. This is a standard. This is one you're going to want to add to your arsenal. And at the price you just see it here for, $7.49 is your standard retail price on these baits. $5.99 is the sale price. And again, I can't urge you enough. I don't know how long this bait is going to be on sale. And the inventories of this bait are something that are going to fluctuate. The cool thing is we have it right now, and we have it at that price for $5.99. So again, if you're a fixed TV member, you're basically getting one of these at 99 cents. So at that price, you might as well add a couple more to your cart and you know, take advantage of this. But this is one of these things, everybody, where we're here to save you a bunch of money. I'm here to do my best to educate you a little bit on the products that are here. But don't hesitate. Get a hold of the Reel Shot staff. Call the store, 920-750-6140. The staff here is phenomenal. They are fishermen and women. They love to get out there and, you know, test these products and tell you how great they really work. And if you, as a TRS Live fan, have some testimonials too, be free to drop them in the chat, drop them in the comments. Let us know. Send us pictures to our messenger. We'd love to get some of your pictures out here on TRS Live, showing you success. Hey, you know what? Hey, Matt talked about this motion sick bait. He called it stick at first, and I'm like, nah, it's motion sick. And then show us some success pictures. Maybe this fall you actually catch your best walleye on it, or you go out there and you catch a couple pike on it, whatever it may be, or now you have a new secret bass lure. Please share that with us on our social media, and while you're over there, do us a favor. like and follow and subscribe. But I mean, that the big ticket I can tell you is that follow settings. There's some settings in there that if you tweak those a little bit, you'll be notified when we're going live and when the show is happening. It happens every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 a.m. But for some reason you're busy, you can't watch it right away at 9 a.m. You can watch it a little bit later on. But these deals are here for a limited time. And the other thing too is its inventories are here for a limited time on some of these products too. So again, everybody, it's a Smithwick Perfect 10 Rogue. That Rogue gets its name because of that Rogue roll action, the side flash of motion sick. There's a bunch of great colors combination into this bait. This thing looks great. We talked about some of the high-tech color patterns. And this bait too, just like a lot of great companies, Smithwick relies on the input of some of the best jerkbait anglers out there in the world. So, you know, this is tried and true. It's one of those baits that as soon as you get it out of this fancy packaging here that you see in front of me, you know you're going to have a great quality Smithwick bait ready to roll. And you know, if it does go out of tune, slight modification to it, and you are back fishing efficiently as ever, and hopefully catching your PB at some point with one of these baits. So $7.49 is normal retail price, $5.99. You see that code, it's SWP10. Enter that in realshot.com. And I'll remind you again, all these products that we're talking about here this morning on TRS Live are only available at therealshot.com. So Smithwick Perfect 10, take advantage of it. Motion sick, a great bait. It's one that I hope you add to your arsenal. But we have 3 more great products to go here on TRS Live, and the next one that's coming up is an offshore tackle pro guppy weight. This is silver. It's the 1 ounce bait. This is one that I'm excited to kind of talk to you about because I had to do a little homework on this one myself, and I learned a couple of things, so hopefully I can educate you as well. So coming up next, offshore tackle. It's the pro guppy weights in the 1 ounce size.
I'm Gary Atkins, professional angler in the National Professional Fishing League. Tune in to TRS Live for the best deals on all your outdoor gear and apparel. If you're going to want a shot at the big bass, you're going to need the Reel Shot. Take it from me, professional angler Gary Atkins.
It's Matt Trotz here with The Guided Life. We just met up with one of the guys from the crew, and he's like, they're on a hot track, so it's put her 4 high and get on these back roads and scream. Every year that I've been a part of that and I go to that class, I always learn something. So these guys are going to join me, and the reason I asked these 2 guys in here is because we got Travis, who does a lot of public land hunting, and then Judd and I are private land, owners and hunters for the most part as well. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. We'll see you on the next one.
The Reel Shot. Sounds like we've got what you need.
Welcome back, everybody, to TRS Live. Again, I'm your host, Matt Trotz, and we just talked about an awesome bait from Smithwick, that Pro Rogue, that P10. Now, this next product may be something that you might need to actually fish that bait if you're fishing a little deeper water. Up now, we are talking about the Offshore Tackle Pro Guppy weights. It's the silver, and we're talking primarily about the 1 ounce weight. So, the cool thing about this product here that I have in front of me tied up is this. I don't know how they do it. I've researched it. This is a 99% lead-free product. So that's really cool because they took into consideration the environment when they developed this product, but also they get that 1 ounce weight to be true here. So this is a phenomenal product if you are a trolling fisherman. And now again, Offshore is one of those names that I don't have to really tell you all about them. They are a staple in the trolling game with their planer boards and all their other accessories that they sell. But this is just another one of those standard products. Again, it's the 1 ounce weight in particular that we are talking about today. The cool thing is there's a number of different ways that you can fish this product here to help you either get your bait down a little deeper, add a little more movement to it, and just be a little more efficient on the water. So you see the price that's on your screen. Normally this is a 3-pack of it for $7.99. Right now you get it for $6.39 on the screen. But let's talk about how to fish this thing. So there's a number of different ways here, and I'm going to show you one of them here. I'm going to actually unsnap this. That is on a Offshore OR. This is an OR16 snap right here. So what I did is there's a couple of different spots on this guppy weight where you can run either the OR snap or you can run some of your favorite barrel swivels on there, and depending on how you like to fish it. So there's an easy slogan that I found on the internet too that kind of said, if the fish are high in the water column, you probably want to use the snap. And this OR16 snap is an awesome snap. When I was playing around with it with some of just this line from earlier, the snap on here is not only is it built very, very well, it's easy to hook up. The snap actually comes with a big time split ring on here to help you use it for this. I'm kind of showing you here my best demonstration. So right about there, you can kind of see that OR16 snap, but we are talking about the 1 ounce guppy weight that's here, 99% lead free. 99% lead free. But here's how you would do it. So I just have a piece of fishing line here, and if you imagine, my left hand here, it's pointed with my ring finger on it, is going to be the direct tie to your rod reel. So the nice thing is, if this portion here that's right, my right hand here was going to your bait, you can take this snap, and I'm telling you, it takes a pretty good pinch to open this thing up. And if you just run it without even running the advanced kind of snap, this thing sits on here. So again, if you imagine left hand here, I'm trying to jingle my fingers a little bit with my ring finger on it. This goes here, and then this bait is going to help get that lure down to the certain depths that you wanted it. And that 1 ounce, ounce and a half is maybe the most weight you want to run with a snap on it, because if that fish is any deeper than that, then you might want to beef it up, or you might want to go to the next method that we're going to talk about. But the cool thing is this is going to help get you right in the right water column depending on where those fish are and the depth they are at. But this works really well. Now the thing about it is why you don't want to go super heavy with anything more than maybe an ounce, ounce and a half fishing that, is because if you see here, I have a bow in my line. So you can see where that weight brings that bait down, whether it's a crawler harness or it is a crankbait. I'm going to create a bow in the line. And in order to set the hook or get a hook set, I have to bring that bow out by having this snap on there. Again, you can kind of see me going through those motions here. So that's why you don't want to go super too heavy if you are fishing the snap, the OR16 snap from Offshore. Now the cool thing is if you got that 1 ounce weight right there, you got it at the perfect depth, you do hook out. That 1 ounce weight is going to be just at that right amount of weight where you are still going to be able to get a good hook set into that fish, or get that sliding motion to get that hook set, those hooks buried into that fish. But as you get this close to you, you're going to have to reach up and unsnap this Just like kind of how you would have to unsnap your planer boards, you're going to have to unsnap that to continue fighting that fish or to get that fish up to the bait, you know, depending on how far it is up the line. Now, there is an advanced method to help hold this on. And I'll show you. Like, I'm pulling pretty tough. And this thing, even with that OR16 snap on there, this thing is hardly moving, right? It takes a good effort for me to slide this up and down. But on that OR 16 ounce weight, or that snap with this 1 ounce lead-free, 99% lead-free 1 ounce guppy weight, which we are talking about today, is you know, it doesn't move. Now they have a method that if you just take it, run one more wrap around this Pro Snap here, it's going to really keep that bait on there. But here's another method to rig this 1 ounce guppy weight that we're referring to. Now, if you're going to the fish are a little deeper in that water column, and you got to drop down a little bit, all I did here, and these are actually some of the salmon candy snaps, is I just have a direct line tie per se. I have 2 swivels tied onto this snap. I have one clipped onto the top portion. There's 2 different rings at the top of this 1 ounce guppy weight here from offshore. And you can kind of see them right there. There's one hole here, and there's another hole on the back. So I just took these are some bigger snaps right here so they show up better on camera. Same with the line, but these actually might be the snaps you're using. So you just run it like this, and then this is going to actually get that bait down to the bottom a lot better. And then as that bait hits the bottom, you know, if it's crawler harness, you know, depending on what line you're going to use, this could roll it up, or it's going to sink if you're using like a fluorocarbon and stay a lot closer to the bottom. So depending on what the species of fish you're targeting, this 1 ounce guppy has a method for you. The other thing too that's really cool about this is, again, I'll try to do my best to demonstrate it here, is right here. If I'm running those snaps as this bait's getting pulled through the water, that's actually gonna form like a little pocket right here. And again, imagine if this is going out to the bait, this side right here where my right hand is, I gotta try to bring it in front of the screen. Right hand, this portion right here is gonna hopefully collect any debris that's in the water and keep that away from your crawler harness or your crankbait, whatever it may be, or whatever else you're using this 1 ounce guppy weights for. So this is another really cool little tip here that, you know, Offshore does a great job on their website of kind of explaining why you would want these 1 ounce guppy weights. Again, it's just going to depend on where these fish are riding in the water column, but the 1 ounce is kind of a good standby to have. And it's one of these things you're going to want to have if, again, you are a trolling fisherman. The other thing is that I was thinking about, if this method right here, even with the snap method, this would be a really cool setup for catfish. Or sheephead, if you're fishing a sheephead tournament, something like this. Both of these setups here with these 1 ounce guppy weights are going to be a cool method for that style of fishing as well. Plus, you know, a lot of times if you're getting any debris, if you are fishing a river system, you know, that's going to hopefully catch right here. Or if you're fishing it with the snaps that I have like in my hand here, you know, I get it up, now I just simply pinch that off and I have that weight ready to go. Now, depending on how you rig it, you know, with that 4-pack of these 1 ounce guppy weights, you have some backups and you have some that you can have pre-rigged up again. But it's a cool product here. Offshore is really well known for these. Bruce DeShano created the Offshore brand, did a phenomenal job with it. I mean, he really knows what he's doing. You know, and there's not much else to say besides there's a lot of different methods, right, for running these weights down. There's direct tie, where there's a different, more streamlined with the snap. If I have something like this with the chain kind of right into it, but the fact that this is that lead free, right? A lot of states are actually kind of regulating the lead usage, right? And you can't use it in that state. Well, Offshore took that in consideration when they developed these products, and the fact that it's virtually lead free is going to be a lot better for your environment. And it's one of these products too that's going to be a lot more easier to use in certain states where lead is illegal to use. So that $7.99 is that standard price right here, only on TRS Live. TheRealShot.com, can you get it for $6.39? Again, it's that quality Offshore brand. They even got a cool little guppy face to them, a little smiley face. They look really neat, but the purpose of this thing, there's endless opportunities, how you want to rig it. the method you want to rig it. I mean, get creative with it. Again, share some of those products with us, or those ideas with us. But I mean, it's pretty standard. But when I was rigging this up, I'm like, man, I know a lot of cat fishermen. I know a lot of sheephead tournaments that happen on the Lake Winnebago system, or as Captain Keller would call them, you know, farm animals, where this would be a really good method. Plus the durability of the product that they made this out of, you know, is going to last a long time. And if unfortunately you do break off, well, luckily for you, you purchased a product here on TRS Live. So not only did you save a little bit of money, but you're thinking about the environment being more lead-free of this lead-free product here. But, you know, hopefully I brought you a quick little tips. It's a guppy weight. There's a lot of different styles that you can fish it with. We're talking about the 1 ounce here, but you can go to therealshot.com if you have that $5 fixed TV app. You know, maybe add some of the bigger ones. But I think that 1 ounce is going to be a good standard style for if you're not fishing that deep, or if those fish are riding up higher in that water column, and especially if you pair it with the OR16, which is also available at therealshot.com. And this quick snap system. This is a really nice efficient way to keep you fishing a lot longer. It just snaps right on that line, and the durability of this thing is awesome. I mean, this you partner that OR16 snap with the sail on these guppy weights here, these 1 ounce offshore guppy weights. You got the ultimate rig, whether you're trolling or maybe you're doing a little bottom fishing. I mean, even with this 1 ounce weight, this could probably work for perch. You know, a lot of times the anglers fish towards the bottom with some of the perch techniques. There's other species I got to be forgetting about. If there's anybody in the chat, let me know where else they may use these 1 ounce guppy weights. But this is a great product at a great price. You see the code at the top of your screen, OSTGW. Offshore is a phenomenal brand. I mean, you talk about trolling, somebody's gonna talk about the offshore brand and how quality it is, and how they stand behind their product, and how they thought everything through. Well, thinking about this bait, or this weight in particular, going to that virtually lead-free procedures with that is really gonna allow you to fish a lot more bodies of water, especially where lead is not allowed. So you see it on your screen, a short and sweet one right here, everybody. $7.99 is normal retail price. $6.39 is the sales price. Remember, that is only on therealshot.com. So take advantage of that, add that to your cart. But we are not done yet. I'm going through, I got 2 more products that I want to talk about here. And this one coming up next is the Berkeley Flicker Minnow. It's right there. You can see it partnered with that Smithwick. It's the pink lemonade is the color that we're referring to. This is a size 11 Flicker Minnow and pink lemonade. So today's kind of a pink day here at TRS Live. So we'll talk about that right after we come back from these commercial breaks.
I'm Gary Atkins, professional angler in the National Professional Fishing League. Tune in to TRS Live for the best deals on all your outdoor gear and apparel. If you're going to want a shot at the big bass, you're going to need the Real Shot. Take it from me, professional angler Gary Atkins.
Hey, it's Matt Trotz here with The Guided Life. We just met up with one of the guys from the crew, and he's like, they're on a hot track, so it's put her 4 high and get on these back roads and scream. Every year that I've been a part of that and I go to that class, I always learn something. So these guys are gonna join me, and the reason I asked these 2 guys in here is because we got Travis, who does a lot of public land hunting, and then Judd and I are private land, owners and hunters for the most part as well. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. We'll see you on the next one. Welcome back. Hey, did you notice in that commercial some of the baits and the products we've just done talking about were in that commercial? If you haven't paid attention, do that next time. Some of those baits we just talked about are in that commercial. That is so cool. Up next, man, we talk about Berkley a lot here on TRS Live. It's because it is one of those companies that if you are a fisherman or woman, you definitely have fished a Berkley product. And on the docket right now is the Flicker Minnow. This is the size 11. Pink lemonade is the color that you see right here in front of me. And boy, this thing has some vibrant colors to it. But before we get into the color schemes here, let's talk about some of the components and some of the depths this bad boy will run at. So it's the 11 centimeters or 4.5 inches is how the Berkley Flicker Minnow 11 gets its name. But it's a half ounce. The dive depth on this bad boy is 18 to 23 feet. You can see that monster bill on this thing. This thing is going to get you down. And I mean, it's a monster Monday here at TRS Live. Some of these baits are going to help catch some of those big walleyes, northern pike, so on and so forth. But this bait right here is another Lake Erie, Bay of Green Bay, maybe even Lake Winnebago, secret possibly out there for you. Big time walleye catcher right here. So again, last week on the show we talked about the Flicker Shad and how it was pro designed, and some of the anglers that helped design not only the Flicker Shad also helped design the Flicker Minnow was Gary Parsons and Keith Cavias. Those guys spent a lot of time testing this product and designing it with the staff over there at Berkley. And like I've mentioned before on TRS Live, I've got to talk some of these scientists and product developers over at Berkley, and boy, they really take pride in making these high-end quality Berkley products. So we talked about it's the minnow style. So if you watched last week's show, again, you can go on the Fix TV app and watch last week's show where we talked about the deal on the Flicker Shad, and that was 5 and 7. Today we're talking about the 11 centimeter Flicker Minnow in that pink lemonade color. So as you see here with the colors, I'll bring it up here. We have kind of a chartreuse back. The chartreuse back right here is going to give you a lot of that high visibility in certain waters. Then we roll again into that pink style head that's on here. We have a really nice reflective eye that's going to catch a lot of the fish's attention here. And then as we, I'm trying to hold it at a good point here so Aaron can get a zoom on it, but it's like super bright. Like, I should have had some sunglasses on. Maybe if I can go back and get some of those Wiley X's that we did on National Sunglasses Day. So here, I'm doing my best at the camera work here, but as I tip it, I think you're kind of getting an idea that this is the chartreuse here across the back. If I change it, if I hold it here, does that help and make it worse? Yeah, so I'm trying to get it against a background here, this great contrast to see it. But anyways, I'll do my best. So we got chartreuse across the back here. It's this clear thing that's not making it go very well. They always sabotage me here on TRS Live for some reason. But we got that chartreuse back. We have kind of a pearl white body here, and they actually went as far as to make the black lateral line that really gives it that high definition that mimics that, you know, that minnow style bait that's out there. They even went as far too with that lateral line to put a fin on the lower portion of the body here, just above those super sharp Fusion 19 hooks. Then we kind of roll into the gill pattern here, and I'll turn it this way as we get up towards the head, that pink head. And then we got that super lifelike reflective eye on this bad boy. This is the Flicker Minnow. It's at size 11. This is, again, look at the bill here. If I can kind of hold this. So this is a look at the bill length on this thing. This is what's going to allow you to dive in those depths of that 18 to 23 feet. You know, as I turn it a little bit more, there we go. I move my hand out of the way. Now you can really see it right there. Look at that bill, and it's actually giving you a better contrast here of some of those colors that are along the side of this minnow. But again, Keith Cavias, Gary Parsons, they know what they're doing. I mean, there's a lot of money been won between those two anglers, and one of these baits right here is one of those baits that's really helped put a lot of money and a lot of trophy fish you know, across the stage, walking across the stage. The other thing too we've talked about with Berkley in the past is how much attention to detail everybody does there over at Berkley, whether they're working with pro anglers or there's the scientists and the product designers over there. So you know that none of these baits from Berkley and these hard bait styles are leaving without being TAG tested. You know, so that's what's going to give it that patented Berkley, that's that Berkley wobble, or if you want to call it one more step further, you could call it that rolling flicker action is what Berkley wants you to know about this bait. It's an awesome bait. I mean, the cool thing about the bill size on here, why that's critical. Well, first of all, we know that it's critical because it gets you to the depths at where those fish are at. And this is one when this time of year now, fish are kind of pulling offshore. They're going out over the mud on Lake Winnebago, or they're going over suspended reefs, or, you know, gravel bars, whatever it may be. But this thing with that size of that bill too is going to dive deep. It's going to get into the strike zone a lot faster. You're going to see those fish on your electronics. You're going to run this out. Maybe this is a product too, if you want a little extra depth on it, you throw it behind one of those offshore 1 ounce guppy weights, whether it's the snap of that OR16 or you have it rigged up with the 2 swivel snaps that are on there. But they designed this bait to get down quickly, and then it's going to run true at those depths. It's going to run that, you know, whatever speed you might have to get it there, it's going to run true just like it is out of the box. Just like you actually went to Berkley itself and grabbed it out of the tank right now, you know that this flicker minnow in this pink lemonade color is going to be a hot ticket for you. The other thing too that really helps with this kind of chartreuse body, a little bit stain water. And then they took it a step further to putting some loud rattles into this bait. So this thing is not only have that high vis color to it, it's got that Berkley flicker action to it that, I mean, it simply put it, it just flat out catches fish. And then they back it up with the big rattles in this thing that's really gonna give it. So you're appealing to that lateral line, which they painted on the side of this bait. Now you have the sight, you're getting that aspect going. When you put all that together, that just triggers these fish to bite. And sometimes they don't want to, but with a bait like this, you're forcing those fish to, they have to react. And when this thing's going by with that beautiful flicker action to it, those fish, they don't have that long. I mean, they live to eat, right? So they have to react quickly. And with those Fusion 19 sticky hooks that are on this thing from Berkley, you know that once that fish commits to it, whether it T-bones it or hits it from the front, the back, those sticky Fusion 19 hooks that are on this are going to help keep that fish pinned, and it's going to, you know, stay pinned a lot longer till when you get it to the net or boat side, whatever it may be, to get that fish in the boat. Yeah, Mitch Van Aert pinned. Yeah, that's just, Aaron, that's just a fishing lingo, bro. Like you gotta learn the language. Again, like I'm sure Gary Parsons and Keith Kavai say pinned all the time. That's just the way you got to talk. But we talked about the loud rattles in this thing, the deep bill on it. It's going to dive in that depth of 18 to 23 feet. So as those fish are moving out, we get those warmer water temps, where they're going to look for those cool waters. They're going to be kind of around that thermocline as the season progresses. This is a go-to bait for you. And with a little bit of, you know, you're using that precision trolling app, you can fine-tune this with the amount of line you're letting out when on the trolling. This is probably going to be one more that if you're purchasing it, you're purchasing to be a troller, but I'm sure there's still guys out there that love to cast this, or anglers out there that love to cast this thing. That's going to really help trigger some extra bites. So, you know, the minnow bait too. We talk about matching the hatch. We've talked a lot about that here on the show. Sometimes we work from that shad style body, where now we have to go to that sleek minnow style presentation. Well, this is going to be one of the baits that's going to help with that out. So you see the price on your screen right now, $5.99 is a standard normal retail price. $4.79 is a deal that you only get on therealshot.com during the TRS Live Show. Again, 24 to 48 hours, it may be off sale. Maybe this hot color that never really goes on sale, inventory goes low, and now you can no longer find it there at therealshot.com for that sale price, or that inventory's gone. So I highly encourage you, while you're over on therealshot.com, add this to the arsenal. This is a great standard color bait. This is a great action bait. The loud rattles, Fusion 19 hooks, again, the components that Berkley puts into these baits is going to help it run true, and it's going to help catch a lot more fish for you. So Again, let's just go over that color one last time. It's pink lemonade here, a chartreuse back, kind of a pearl white body to it. Went as far as we put the lateral line. We got gills, we got fins. We even go to those high visibility, the reflective eyes on this thing with that pink head. Fusion 19 sticky hooks. You got the bill on this thing to get you into those depths of 18 to 23 feet. That size 11, and that's centimeters. So if you're looking for it, it's 4 1/4 inches. And it's a 1/2 ounce. This is a great bait to get you down quick, stay in that strike zone a lot longer, and hopefully put a lot more fish in the box for you. $5.99 is normal retail price, $4.79 right here on TRS Live. You're on therealshot.com. Again, if you are a fixed TV subscriber, well, that's basically one bait for free right there. So you might as well add 2 or 3 to the cart as well. So we're kind of going through here on our Monster Monday, trying to get some of these great baits in your hands, saving you all kinds of money here on therealshot.com. But we got one more bait since we're talking Monster Monday coming at you here. We're going to be rolling into the salmon candy products again. This is the Aqua Wizard. This is a single fly right here. This is already tied up with the leaders, the beads, and the big old hook that you see on your screen right now. So we're going to talk about that once we come back from these commercial breaks.
I'm Gary Atkins, professional angler in the National Professional Fishing League. Tune in to TRS Live for the best deals on all your outdoor gear and apparel. If you're going to want a shot at the big bass, you're going to need the Real Shot. Take it from me, professional angler Gary Atkins.
It's Matt Trotz here with The Guided Life. We just met up with one of the guys from the crew, and he's like, they're on a hot track, so it's put her 4 high and get on these back roads and scream. Every year that I've been a part of that and I go to that class, I always learn something. So these guys are going to join me, and the reason I asked these 2 guys in here is because we got Travis, who does a lot of public land hunting, and then Judd and I are private land, owners and hunters for the most part as well. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. We'll see you on the next one. All right, everybody, thanks so much for joining me today here on Monster Monday on TRS Live. Kind of the baits we've talked about today are here to catch you some big fish. And we're rolling into another classic product here at The Real Shot. Salmon candy flies. This is a single here. I think this thing is like a tassel, right? So if you rah, go, Real Shot, go, right? We got the Aqua Wizard in the 4-inch. Now this is one that comes with the fly, repeat line, and it also comes with the leader here. So we have this is the 4-inch fly material, and it comes with 1 leader. So we got here is we have a 24-inch, it's hard to see because it's a high quality fluorocarbon. This is a 24-inch leader. These are already pre-rigged, which is really nice because when we talked about this with Nick Schneider on TRS Live before. He's a big-time salmon fisher. He's a Great Lakes specialist here at The Real Shot. And you know what? This color here of this fly, an Aqua Wizard, I almost said lizard, is a great standard color. It's got a lot of those iridescent colors to it. some blues, some greens, some silvers. I drove the other day to work and I saw one of those chameleon cars on the road where it was one color and then you got around it and it turned to another color. It was really, really cool. That's what this thing replicates here. It's the alewife. A lot of those big time salmon and trout on the big lakes are feeding on these. So the skirt is obviously the attractor. It's the teaser. But this is a part that the part right here that if you do a little homework, they say your leader is the most important part because this is what actually gets into the fish's mouth. And now this is what's going to start to build up that scent that you want. So having a high quality leader, again, this is a 50-pound floral lead, and this is a 1/0 treble hook that's on this thing. And what they did at Salmon Candy is they actually put some glow-in-the-dark paint right in the middle of all these trebles right here. That's just going to add to the attractiveness of this leader here. But I mean, I know we're talking about the leader, but once you get this thing, you know, hook up with a couple of salmon or some lake trout, this is one where the Old Salt products, right? We've talked about the Old Salt products with Brian Dawn here on TRS Live, where maybe using some of those Old Salt products to keep your hands scent free. Once you have this leader with some of that fish smell on there is what you want to do. But the nice thing, so yeah. Aaron just wanted me to tell everybody here, and I've been trying to get Aaron to be a speaker over the thing, but he's trying to figure that out. But you're saying for $7.19 was the sales price here, you can't even go to Subway and get a foot long for that, but you're getting 24 inches here at therealshot.com, but on TRS Live. So okay, we talked about 50-pound, 24-inch. Now the 24-inch is key because this is to be partnered with your standard flasher, some of those 8-inch standard Salmon Candy flashers that we talked about before on the show. 4, really nice. This is the glass bead here. That's going to add to that attractiveness. Plus, that's going to help keep that fly up at a high point. But this is once you get it partnered here, so you're going to have a good quality product first and foremost. Now, the one thing that we've talked about here with Salmon Candy, and I'm sure I'm going to struggle now, I practiced this a million times, is the head portion or the whole portion on the fly itself. They made it a little bit bigger so it's easy to interchange. Like the fly game is one that a lot of anglers used to have a wide variety, right? Well, if you start playing with some of these Salmon Candies, you're going to find products that you're more confident in. And the cool thing about it is once you find those, let's say it's 4 to 6 flies that you absolutely feel confident in, then you have some of these pre-tied leaders ready to roll. So if the fly gets or messed up, if you're losing some of this beautiful skirt that's on it, you know, it's easy to interchange. So here we go. Watch me struggle on a Monday, not surprising. So you see here, obviously I have the treble hook here. It's that 1/0 treble hook down here, and the big enlarged hole. When you're not being videotaped, you pinch your loop that's already tied up and you just shove it through the bottom of the fly. Now, kind of like here, I like to get that skirt down around my hand and you just pull it over the knot and there you go. Just like that, not even a struggle, no fuss, no muss. And then this is actually what the rig looks like here. So I got it in my hand. Now we're all rigged up. So again, you can see that attractor on there. When a fish actually hits it, that attractor, if my fingers don't pinch that skirt, it's going to slide up the line. That's what we're talking about with those beads and with that high quality treble hook and this 50-pound floral lead that's on this thing. This is the part that's going to be in the fish's mouth, and this is where you want to pay attention to your scent. But this is the movement, and then when it's in the water, it does this right here. This is where you're going to get that motion. This is all that attractiveness. You can see here as I fling it around my shirt. Look at the movement in it. It almost looks like fireworks on the 4th of July, even against the gray background on my shirt, my thick shirt here. It kind of gives you that 4th of July look, but that is, you know, depending on what the fish want, this has got a lot of the great colors that are standards on the big lake, right? The blues, the greens, some of those silvers, some of the whites. This thing really, really sparkles in the water, and boy, does it look good. Plus the easy interchange. So again, I just caught a big giant salmon on it. Now with the way the knot is too, is the beads stay in place. So the beads stay right there, they stay in place. Again, now I just have to pull that free. I go in my box, I grab my other favorite salmon candy fly, which probably today is Aqua Wizard, and then it's just really easy to put it back on and get back to fishing. So this is one of those deals for you salmon fishermen, you lake trout fishermen out there on the big pond. This is one color that is probably a staple. You probably have a bunch in your box, but I bet you didn't save money on it. I bet you you didn't take advantage of the deal here at TRS Live. Well, now's the opportunity. $7.19 here. Easy interchange, great color scheme to it, high quality components, a 50-pound floral lead. It's 24, so it's 24-inch lead. So that to me is also, by being pre-rigged here, is a no-brainer. I know that if I'm running a 8-inch flasher, this setup right here is already ready to go. And then again, if I have some of those 3-packs that are available at therealshot.com with some of the other great salmon candy products, I just go ahead, slide it up and over. I pull that kind of down, and I'm just easy around that knot, bing, bang, boom, and I'm ready to go. And this is a great product. Again, salmon candy. It's the single fly pack, Aqua Wizard. It's the 4-inch color, 24-inch, 50-pound floral lead with a good quality knot at the top, and it's already pre-rigged to this I think it's a Gamakatsu hook, but it's a treble hook here, even with the glow bead on there. They really thought of everything here for you. SCFAW, enter that into the Real Shot, take you right to it. But this is a great product. Add it to the cart right now, $7.19, add a couple at that price. This is an awesome, awesome deal. And salmon candy, again, we talked about it with Offshore, with Berkeley, with Smithwick today. Those are the staples in the game right now. And salmon candy for that trout and salmon fishermen on the big pond, this is also a staple in the industry right now, and one that you need to take advantage of, especially at a sale price of $7.19. So go ahead and add that to your cart. Remember, it's the TRS Live Shopping is under the category. You can click on that, see what's coming up, see what you may have missed. Again, some of these deals are here for a short time. Some of them may be here a little bit longer. Biggest thing about it is that here today, gone tomorrow mentality with everything right now. So just because we have it in stock today on Monday doesn't mean it will be here on Wednesday. So if you're watching right now, whether you're watching live or you watch it within the next 24 to 48 hours, this is one that you do not want to wait on. So we talked about some great products here on Monster Monday here, TRS Live. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. Hopefully I did my best to educate you a little bit on some of the products. But again, if you're looking for more in-depth information, I highly encourage you, get a hold of Nick Schneiderwin at the store. This guy is a phenomenal Great Lakes specialist. He knows a lot more about the salmon candy products than I can even try to learn in 24 hours. So get a hold of Nick if you have any other questions on the salmon candy products, or even Nick can help you out with some of the other products that we talked about on today's show as well, whether it was the guppy weights in those 1-ounce size, the Smithwick, or the Berkeley baits as well. So we do TRS Live here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday around that 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. You can rewatch some of the past episodes for free on Fixed TV. Join over there for $5.99. Get a $5 credit to use here at The Real Shot or at therealshot.com. Remember, all these deals we talk about are online only. So again, everybody, thanks so much for joining me this morning, and we will talk to you Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time.